welcome back to my channel. My name is Cass. For those that are new, welcome, bienvenidos to my channel. Guys, oh my god, I literally can't believe I'm doing this video, but it was requested by a lot of you guys when I had said that I had a story time. And I never thought in a billion, trillion, million years this would happen to me, but it can happen to anyone. So that's why I wanted to do this video, so we can stop getting scammed. So before I start with this video, I am gonna be sipping on my Starbucks because y'all already know Starbucks is life. Since I have a TikTok now, I always find recipes on there. So I just wanted to show you guys this recipe that I found on TikTok because I am obsessed with this. So it is supposed to be a cookies and cream frappuccino. So write this down. Okay, so I ordered, well, this is how you order it. So I ordered a vanilla bean frappuccino with white mocha. You add Java chips and you substitute it with heavy cream. And bitch, when I say this is bomb, you guys have to believe me. This is so bomb. And I basically, it's all watered down though because I bought this like a couple of hours ago and I just put it in my fridge, but I wanted to save it to drink it with you guys because this tea is about to get really juicy. Hope everyone is doing good during these hard times. I know we are still on quarantine and I know a lot of us are bored, and that's why you're probably watching this video, because you're bored. And that is why I did this video too, because guys, when I say I'm bored out of my mind, I'm bored. Like, I don't know what else to do. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this quick story time with you guys. That way no one goes through what I did, because let me tell you, it is so embarrassing. But I trust you guys, and you know, we are all amigas here, so I wanted to just quickly tell you guys my experience of when I got scammed. So I won't be saying any names because a bitch is not trying to get sued. I was gonna say screwed. I'm not trying to get sued, so I'm not going to be naming any company names or any names at all. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. So the only proof that I have of all of this, that way you guys don't say that I'm making anything up, I do have emails, and the only emails that I have, I am gonna be like posting screenshots of them on the screen. That way you guys can read them. I did go through my email though, and mostly all of the emailing that I did with this person, they are not there. I tried to look in my junk, in my trash, in my inbox, basically in all the folders of my email, but unfortunately I was only able to find one email. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna tell you guys straightly how everything happened. Unfortunately, the exact dates I don't know from the top of my head, but just know this was in 2018 and we are in 2020, so that was what, 2 years ago. And exactly around like this time, this is when it was actually happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with 2 years ago in my life. What was I doing 2 years ago? I wasn't doing shit for my life. I was working retail 2 years ago, and I was just working a normal job. A lot of you guys know I don't go to school. I attended college one semester, and then after that, asked me if I went back. I never went back, and I just wasn't really happy with my life at that time, with like work wise, not with like myself, but work wise. So 2 years ago, I was like, I need a change. I'm tired of the same rutina, getting up, going to work retail, dealing with people that don't have common sense. And you know what, I was just like, this is not what I want to do. Because you guys, already know my dream job is what I'm doing now, and I wouldn't. If you asked me 2 years ago that I was gonna do YouTube 2 years later, I would have said you're lying. So I was just like, no, like I'm gonna do something right now. Like I can't be stuck here. You know, I didn't like my job. I was just like, what the hell can I do to make myself happy? So let's see. So one day, if you guys are not familiar with MTV, I'm pretty sure all of you are, but if you're not, MTV is like how I see it, it's like a reality TV channel. Like shows familiar with like Jersey Shore, Teen Mom, 16 and Pregnant, Ridiculousness, like those shows are what come on MTV, and I am an MTV fan. Till to this day, that's literally all I watch. I don't even really watch TV, but I do watch Teen Mom. I watch Jersey Shore still, and I still watch some of those shows, so I'm still a fan of those. So if you guys aren't familiar with the show Are You the One, it's like basically a dating show. I don't know if it still comes on because I haven't seen it, but well, from my perspective, it was like a dating show. I guess like 10 girls and 10 guys would go, like, I don't know where the fuck they would go, but they would go somewhere, and you basically had, I think, 10 weeks, I'm not sure, to like find your perfect match. So like I said, at the time I was single, I wasn't doing shit with my life, and I was kind of desperate just for like a change in my life. So I was like, okay, so I guess they were casting for like the new season. So, you know, I was just watching TV, and I saw that they were casting. So then I was like, why not freaking just apply? Like, what's the worst that can happen to me? Not get in. Okay, wow. Like, I'm not gonna cry about it. I was just like, why not take the chance and apply for it? So, you know, I'm over here like freaking applying, and I sent my application. I never heard back from them, so obviously I didn't get casted because I would have been on the show. But as at the moment when I was applying for Are You the One, I noticed at the bottom of my screen, you know how like ads pop up and then you just click like the X. So at the bottom it had this specific company that I won't be mentioning because like I said, I'm not trying to get sued. So it was this specific company, and it had said, oh, like I forgot honestly what it said. It just said something like, oh, if you want to apply for more shows, click here, or just something along those lines. So I was like, okay, why am I gonna apply to one when I can apply to others? So at that time I was like, okay, so let me just finish this application. And then I went on the ad and I clicked on it, and it took me to like another website, and it said like all the casting shows that were being casted, that they were looking for people. There were shows, example, like dating shows. There was a show like survival, and I was like, okay, I can't do that. I can't do that. And there was the show The Real World. So that's when everything happened. It said that The Real World was casting, and if you guys don't know what The Real World is, just go ahead and you guys can go ahead and look it up. It's just a reality TV show where I think you get put in a house with strangers, with people you don't know. Shit pops up, drama, whatever. You literally name it. Anything happens on that show. So I was like, okay, like why not? If I can't go on Are You the One, I can do reality TV. Like this is what I want to do. And so here I go. I'm over here freaking applying. So I applied, and they were asking me my basic information. Where did I live? What did I do for work? How old I was? What were my hobbies? My personality traits? And they were asking me like scenario questions, kind of like in an interview. They were asking me questions about like, what would you do if like your ex came? Or what would you do if you got in a fight? Or like just questions like that. Like they were just asking scenario questions. So I answered all of them, and I sent in my application. Probably a week later, I receive an email. So I received an email. I don't have exactly that email, but I do have a screenshot of when I got all excited and I posted it on my Snapchat and on my Instagram. I don't know why I would do that, but like I said, I was excited and happy. So I'm gonna post the screenshot now. So that's the screenshot that I posted. That was the first email that I got, and basically I did crop out in the picture that when I took it at the time. I did crop out more information, but basically the email said that I had passed my first interview. My first interview was like my application basically, and that they wanted to set up a phone interview and just to like email them back if I was still interested. So basically I emailed them back, and I had a representative. What should we name him? We should name him Frijol. Let's name him Frijol. So my Frijol, my representative Frijol, he was the one that I was mostly in contact with, and we were emailing back and forth. Basically, like I said, he was kind of like the manager. He was gonna be like my manager, I guess, representing me. So Frijol emailed me asking me when can I set up a good interview time to do a talk, like an interview over the phone. And I had told them whatever time, because you know, obviously you want to look good, you want to look like, you know, you're really interested. So I was like, oh, you know what, like you guys can call me whatever time. So I remember at this point I was at work, and he had scheduled me an interview. I think it was gonna be like on a Friday at 11 o'clock in the morning. And I was at work, and I had asked my manager if I can take an important phone call, and she said yes. So I remember I was helping like a guest, and he called me, and I just basically went, like I took like a 15-minute break, and I was talking to him on the phone, and he was asking me, like he was interviewing me over the phone again. He was asking me kind of like the same questions, like how old I was, where did I live, what would I do in these types of situations, if I had like anger issues, if basically like just questions about myself. So I told him everything, and at the end of our conversation he had told me I had passed my second interview. So bitch, when I say I was excited, I like ya me creía fucking Jersey Shore, ya me creía Snooki. I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna come on TV, like finally, like, you know, fuck this job, like I'm gonna go and be on TV. At that time, that's how like literally my mentality was. So he had told me that they were gonna schedule another interview, but at this time he even sent me a location. It was gonna be in Burbank, and I remember I was gonna go. This happened in like February, so I think my interview was either gonna be in March or in April. So I had like 2 months to like prepare myself. He didn't tell me why I was gonna go in. He just said that they wanted to see me in person, you know. So I had 2 months to prepare myself. So I remember I wanted to like lose weight. I remember I started going to the gym. I started eating good. That way, like when they saw me in person, you know, I looked decent. So in those 2 months, I had, this is like the, now that I think about it, guys, like please don't ever do this. I had told like my managers I was gonna quit. I had told them I was gonna be on TV. I had told all my coworkers. I had told all my friends. And I remember Baja Beach Fest. This was like the first year that they were gonna do Baja Beach Fest at Rosarito. All my friends like wanted to go, but I told them I couldn't because I was gonna be on TV. Because I guess we were gonna start filming during the summer, so it was gonna be like from June through August. So supposedly, like me, I wasn't gonna be here during the summer. So I had told them that I couldn't go. I had told my mom that like no podía ir a Mexico because I was gonna be on the show. Basically, like I was already looking towards the future. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna work at this job anymore. Blah 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 blah. Like I was just making up scenarios in my head. And in those 2 months, probably like 2 weeks later, I reached out to him because I didn't hear nothing from him. Even though he did tell me my interview was gonna be in like 2 months, I still wanted updates. I don't know, like I'm just that type of person that I want reassurance. Because if I don't hear from you again, I'm just gonna assume like you don't want to talk to me anymore, or that it like you changed your mind. So I remember I kept emailing him and asking him, you know, if I was still in it, and if he had any questions I have to ask me. If he had any questions for me that I would gladly answer. And you know, he would update me saying, oh yeah, like you're still in it, don't worry, like we're preparing everything, whatever. So I remember, guys, this is like when I don't know what I was thinking, but this is when I basically got scammed. So this is like the whole purpose of the story. So I remember one day after work, Frijol called me and he told me that before my trip that I had to pay a fee. Now, when someone wants to collaborate with you, when someone wants to work with you, obviously they're going to pay you, right? Because they want to work with you. But if they're casting and and if they're casting yourself to be on their show, why would you have to pay if they're casting you? So now think about it. At that time, I didn't think much of it. So I had asked him, I was like, oh yeah, like, but what is this fee for? And he had told me that before people go on shows, that you have to like take courses, like anger management courses. You have to go see a psychiatrist. I think psychiatrists, honestly, it's like a psychology. I don't, honestly, guys, I don't even know what they're called, but basically you have to go talk to someone. That way, you get approved to come on TV show, because as you guys know, when you're like in a public figure, you guys get hate comments, and basically they just teach you ways how to deal with hate. That way you don't hurt yourself. That way, you know, you don't commit something or hurt others that are gonna be on the show. So that's what he had told me. He had told me that I had to pay a fee of, wait, that I had to pay a fee of $275. So like I said, guys, at this time I was working retail. That was about it. So when I said that that hurt, even though for some of you guys $200 isn't a lot, but when you're living paycheck by paycheck, you know, that hurts. So when he had told me that I had to pay 270, I was like, well, that's basically like half of my check. But like I said, at that time I didn't care. Honestly, I was just like, okay. So then yo de mensa, I gave Frijol my card info over the phone. I did ask for a receipt though, and he did email me a receipt and like an invoice. And but like I said, that was fake. And I paid my fee, and supposedly that had ticketed me myself my way into the show, like as I progressed. So I paid my fee, and yeah, after that, um, he did ask me. Frijol asked after. Okay, guys. So after I paid my fine or my fee or whatever, he emailed me once again and told me if I could email him some pictures of myself, not what you guys think, not any nudes, but pictures he asked me for face pictures only, face and body, and they had to be clear and somewhat like professional. So at that time, guys, to this point I still don't know how to take pictures. So I had just sent him pictures of myself that were, you know, I looked decent, and you know, there was good lighting, nothing like that, guys. He just wanted normal pictures. And yeah, so I sent him that, and the reason why he wanted those pictures is because they made me like they made me, what is it called, not like, he made me like a profile. Basically he set me up with someone to make myself like a profile. That way if I ever wanted to apply for something else, he said that I could use that, kind of like a binder for myself, like with my pictures and stuff. I don't, honestly, guys, at this point I don't know what he was even saying, but like I said, I believed everything Frijol told me. So a couple of weeks later, as the day approached where I had my interview, I kept emailing him and asking him basically like, what do I have to take? How do I dress? If I can take someone to go with me, because I was not gonna go by myself. I needed the address because all he had said was in Burbank, California. He never told me like the address and everything. So I was wanted to get prepared for it. Ask me if he replied. Nope. Basically, he ghosted me. Well, not ghosted me, but basically like se desapareció. I don't know. I didn't hear back from him ever again. I did have their phone number, and it did ring every time I would call, but no one would pick up. I looked them up on Yelp, and they had like one review, but the review was like, it didn't even make sense. I forgot what the review was. I went on their website, and now that I think about it, it's like a fake. It was a fake website, but like I said back then, I didn't know what was fake or what was real. And I never heard from Frijol again. So basically, I got scammed with $275, and I had told everyone that I was gonna be on TV, and none of that happened. So that's why it is so important, guys, to read information before you reply to any emails. Make sure they're legit. A lot of things now that I do have like a social media platform, I check my emails more than I check my text messages. So every time someone wants to collaborate with me, every time I get an email from anyone, I always make sure to go on the website. I don't click on the link. Never click on links that get sent to you guys, because it can be a scam. So I actually just type it in manually by myself. Don't click on links. And if they really want to work with you guys shouldn't have to make a purchase from them. You guys shouldn't have to do anything for them, because they want to work with you. Now, if you want to work with them, that's a whole different story. But if someone reaches out to you and says they want to collaborate with you, but you have to make a purchase, that most likely is a scam. So I don't reply to those emails. I make sure that I read everything and ask any questions that I have that that don't point to red flags. Because like I said, since I already went through this experience, I am very careful with who emails me and who I email back, and I make sure I don't get myself into a mess, because I learned from this. Even though this is an embarrassing story to tell, it is also a learning experience, not for myself but also for you guys, because like I said, I know there's a lot of people that are just trying to live their dream, and some people just want to get to it the fastest way they can. But guys, it does not really work like that. You guys kind of have to start from the bottom and work your way up. And if something does seem a little skeptical, you guys ask other opinions. Ask your parents what they think about it. Ask, if you guys have a coach or something. You guys should definitely get other opinions from other people. That way you guys don't get scammed like myself. And yeah, if anything has ever happened to you guys, go ahead and leave your story or comment down below, because I really want to know how people get scammed, because I know there's a lot of scammers, and we all just need to make sure that we're careful on who we trust, and definitely on who we're working with, because like I said, you never know who's gonna be there for you, to help you, or who's gonna be there to embarrass you and lie to you and take your money, and you'll never hear from them again. So yeah, basically that was my story of when I got scammed by Frijol, and when I thought I was gonna be on MTV. And yeah, that's pretty much the story, guys. I'm sorry if I didn't have like specific dates, but like I said, this was 2 years ago, and yeah, for some reason my emails didn't pop up, only one. But I did show you guys a screenshot. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and leave them down below. I will go ahead and answer them. And if you guys don't follow me on all my socials would be listed down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everyone stays safe out there, guys. Wash your hands. Hope I just bored you guys for a little bit with some chisme, because I know this video was requested by a lot of you girls. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. I probably did leave a couple of things out, but I honestly don't remember. I don't even remember what I did yesterday. Oh, I didn't do nothing. Why? Because we're on lockdown. See you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.